This is part one of the Super 73 build. So we're just gonna go ahead and strip down this bike, but there's lots of issues. Like this is completely stuck on. The back wheel has rust and these wires are all frayed. And the chain ring's bent and it's rusty all in here. The forks work fine, but the front wheel bearing's all loose. And then there's tons of rust in the bolts, like in there. There's not a lot of rust in general on the frame. And then there's also all this duct tape on the back, which we need to get rid of because we're going to be painting this bike. This bolt is completely rounded out, so we're going to use this strip screw extractor to get that out. Since these are square tapered cranks, you have to have a special tool called a crank puller to get them out. We got the forks all taken off here. The bolts are stripped, so I can't get them out right now, but we'll be getting that off soon. Okay, just going to go ahead and use that to punch off this grip. Actually, now I just have to finish taking off the rest of this duct tape. To end off the night, we almost have this bike finished. We just got, or not almost, it's almost stripped down. We got all the tape and gunk off the back. And then we have the cranks taken off, the forks taken off, and both wheels over there. We're just gonna go ahead and drill out this bolt because it's fully stripped out. Now we're just gonna start trying to drill out this bolt because there's no saving it. After probably hours, got the bolt out. Next thing we're gonna do is to try to fix up these throttle or these motor wires because they look pretty darn rough, and try to just fix them up. Hopefully they are fixable because they look really nasty. Now we're just gonna go ahead and wrap it all in this big piece of heat shrink and shrink it down so it's all nice and neat. This is the finished result and it looks pretty good. Now I just have to go ahead and throw the motor cover back on. We went ahead and threw on just a fresh rotor because I had one laying around, so why not? Now that we have everything off, we're gonna start masking. Got the frame all masked up, now we're gonna sand it down. We're gonna paint it this high gloss spray paint, so I have to take off these masks because it's not gonna be black or a different dark color anymore, so you won't even be able to see the logos. So I took off the masking tape off that, and then this got messed up, so I'm taking the masking tape off that, and I'm probably just gonna end up remasking the whole thing and taking it out because I never gave it a proper wash, so that's what I'm gonna do now. We're gonna run a quick wash just to go ahead and get this thing ready for paint. I've lost every hose in my house somehow, so we're just gonna have to dump some water on it to rinse it off. Ignore all the noise, but I just sanded this down for another coat and finished cleaning it. So now it's super ready for paint. Hopefully there's not too much rain. First coat on the top is about finished. So we're gonna have to let this dry for a little while, then we're gonna put on a second coat. Then we're gonna let that dry for a long time, and then we're gonna flip it over so we can get the bottom. Now we got the forks all masked up and ready for white paint. We also got the forks real quick with a little spray. These things are about to look sick. This can is just about out, and we finished the forks, the bars, and then most of the frame. We still have to paint the bottom. Okay, we got all the parts that we need to get painted. We have the triple clamp here, the frame, the bottom of the forks, the bars. I know the end isn't covered, but there's gonna be a grip over that, and then the top triple clamp and bar clamp. We got the front brake installed. Ignore the wire hitting, we're gonna zip tie it, but works perfect. Now I'm just gonna put some of this suspension grease on the fork. Now we have the front and rear tire in, but we don't have the nuts for the rear wheel yet, so we're just gonna have to get some of those from Home Depot. And this whole this situation is not very good, but it's still tight, the headset, so we're just gonna run it. And it's not a safety issue because this is still bolted in here, and I do need to find a longer bolt for this one because the threads are messed up in there, but not all the way through. See, there's threads there, but so we just need to find a really long bolt. So we might also pick up that from Home Depot, and then also get a bolt outfit in there and a washer to cover this up from Home Depot. So yeah, one strip from Home Depot, and then the rest of the parts are on the way. And I have to believe the rear brake, front brake fully works really well. These are some of my favorite brake levers. from a mountain bike. They just feel really nice, but I'm running ceramic coat ours on a mountain bike now, so. These little 2-piston Shimano's are gonna be on this bike, and we are doing a mountain bike configuration because this is for my dad, and we're gonna have a thumb throttle, so you'll still be able to wheelie it because you won't have to twist your throttle back. So you can just do thumb throttle and then brake. But other than that, we're getting pretty close to finish. We're gonna get a 48 volt, 20 amp hour battery, as well as a 48 volt, 30 amp controller, which is about 1,000 watts around that. And then we're gonna get a display and probably put it in the middle here, and a new thumb throttle. The forks are super nice, and they turned out pretty well with the paint. They look really good. This bike is looking similar to one of the white Common Sols with the white Fox 36s. I love these forks though, they look super nice. We're gonna have to find some. We might get some like fake gold Fox 40 stickers, because we're gonna get a gold chain, fresh cranks, because the cranks that come on this thing are really, really heavy. We still have the Class 2 e-bike sticker, just because I want this thing to be fully street legal compared to my other bike. And then we're just running the stock motor, and we are probably going to replace these liners with white ones at some point just to match the rest of the bike. But overall, it's looking super clean. We just got these Morocco cranks in and installed. They're a little bit longer, but they should still be fine. I thought it hit the frame for a second. That scared me. I just hit my drill over here. But super nice for 20 bucks off Amazon. And they're a lot lighter and they look a lot better, so yeah. We just got all the new star nut stuff to go ahead and replace that. We just got the star nut all pushed in, so now we can go ahead and tighten up the headset. They're on this little stem cap. But now we can screw in this top cap, and it's gonna match the rest of the build. Y'all just wait. So we can tighten up the headset because it's really loose right now. Official super parts we got, we're just gonna go out there on the kickstand so we can work on this thing outside. Kickstand on, now we're gonna work on this outside a little bit. One chain on, and now I just have to go ahead and get this bolt, and we're gonna have to get some WD-40 to get the rust off the axle. Just got this rear brake bled, so now we have to install it and then pump up the tires real quick. It's almost gonna be a pedaling bike. None of the electronics have come in yet. The battery should be here tomorrow, and the controller should be here sometime soon. I don't know when. Now we're just gonna have to go grab some parts from my friend. So shout out to AKA GT73 for the parts. Okay, so from AKA GT73, we went ahead and picked up this carbon fiber battery wraps to wrap this cow MM battery, and then we just got this little battery adapter to adapt the Dean's connector on this to the XT60 that's on the controller, because I don't feel like soldering today. So yeah, so we're just gonna leave this as wide as this is, the space on each side, so that we'll be able to easily cover everything, and then as much space as this on that side and on this side, and we'll probably just cut out a little hole for this. That's probably, so the idea is that we're gonna mount the battery right under here, so then we can put the controller right back here, and then just cut a hole, or use this hole, and run the battery lines up through and into the controller right here, which would be pretty nice, and you wouldn't see any wires. Yeah, we just got the first half cut out. We got the first sheet cut out, and it looks pretty good. Definitely not perfect, but good enough, better than the blue. And then I just traced out this new one so we can cover up the other side. Okay, just finished wrapping the battery. Looks decent, not perfect by any means, but it'll be fine from afar, as long as you're not like touching it, because this actually got pretty wrinkly. I might need to take that off and put it back on. But I got the battery port looking relatively good. You can barely see the glue and the wires are still coming out this end. So yeah, very nice. Hopefully the controller will show up soon so we can get the bike together. We did that side, and now it's looking really nice. So we'll just get the controllers here, and then we'll see if we can get the bike built up. Just want to check the controllers here. It's actually a lot smaller than I thought. So we have the controller with all those connectors, and then we have this nice little thumb throttle. And then in here,
off in my shoes, and I
We
don't
should.
know. And we shouldn't have
The display. So yeah, that's the display. It's pretty nice, kind of big. Just a quick test to make sure everything works and it's all working good. You can change the mode right here. 5 gears, full color display. I have it wired in with this nice little adapter. We're gonna mount this under the seat later, but it looks really nice. Buttons feel good. You can turn it on and off, which is super nice. It's showing EO8 probably because we don't have anything else connected. But yeah, we had to extend the motor phase wires by a little bit, so I took these off. My old Razor motor, it's brushed, so I only have 2. I'm gonna have to find another wire, but this is what we're gonna use to extend so that we can reach this all the way down there. So now we're just gonna do a little bit of soldering, letting this thing heat up. We're gonna solder this together. Just got the first joint done, so I'll have to do that for the rest. I just found these 2 pieces of wire that together are just about long enough. Well, this one's close to being long enough, but we're just gonna solder these 2 together so we have plenty of room. Just a little checking. Got most of these wires all done. We're just gonna have to do 4 more of these little ones, and then we should be ready to see if it turns on. You just got all the wires soldered. It's really messy for now, but it's just because I'm gonna have to zip tie these all together and push them up here under the seat and zip tie it to the frame, but it'll be all really clean. Time for the moment of truth. Oh, it's still showing errors. Well, I'm gonna pick up the back wheel and let's see if it works. So I'm showing EO7 and EO8. I'm gonna go look in the instruction manual, see what that means. Okay, so I fixed it because I forgot to plug in the throttle. Now I think it's just showing EO7 for a second at the beginning and then it goes away. So I'm guessing it just like does that to turn on. So we're gonna set this down and see if she runs. I dropped the battery, but it didn't fall from far, and it just got that little nick in it, so it should be fine. But she's turning on now, and she runs. See how much power she has. Looking a little bit closer, this battery is completely fine. It's just, there's like an outer cardboard bit that got a little bit messed up, but other than that, it's completely fine. So now we just got the battery strapped in right here for now, but I'm probably gonna take it out just because it was dropped, so I'm gonna leave it out in the garage just to make sure it's all safe. Now we're just gonna go ahead and wrap some electrical tape around these wires to clean them up. So we got this thing pretty well done. The battery's held in there pretty well. I'm gonna grab a piece of black duct tape to wrap around the entire thing just to hold it in place. Got that all relatively organized. Looks pretty good on the cockpit. We need to do some more organization in here, but the battery and everything's held in. I think it's time for a little bit of a test run. It's definitely far from finished. The headset's still a little bit loose, but other than that, she seems pretty dialed. Looks really good. Oh, we also are going to need a seat cover because this kind of makes it look like a stock bike. But the battery looks super clean. This thing's fast. So yeah, that's the build for now. The motor has some issues, but it works for most of the time. It just starts clicking sometimes, so I'm guessing the gears are kind of messed up. We'll probably have to fix that at some point. Brakes ended up working really good. The display is super nice. And the battery ended up looking really good. Probably gonna have to add another layer of duct tape on the around the thing just so it doesn't slide back and forth, but it works great for my little ride. Went about 7 miles and didn't even lose a bar of battery. So this thing's gonna get some crazy range. For 3.5 miles. It's 49.5 volts, so we started at like 50 volts. Forks are nice, definitely needs to let some air out. And so the things that are gonna come soon, we haven't bought them yet, but it's just the next ideas that we have is we're gonna get a seat cover, a white and black seat cover. There's one coming for the Razor too. And then also we're gonna get white tire inserts just to make this thing look sweet. Because right now it still looks a lot like a stock bike. And definitely want to give it that more custom look. It looks stock, of course, except for this giant battery. But she's quick. Rev up. It was showing 60 earlier, but this thing's really fast, and it's honestly perfect because it's my dad's build, and definitely has plenty of power to wheelie. I mean, we also need to go ahead and bolt in the seat and do some management under there, but it's a rideable bike and it's super nice. Looks sick. So yeah, that's gonna have to end out the video. If y'all have stayed tuned all the way to the end, please like and subscribe so y'all can see what's coming to this bike and just so more people can see this video. So yeah, thank y'all and have a good day.
Your body enticing me, making me want it. When you gonna give it